am so excited. I can't even express how excited I am. It's the Planet Zoo beta. I bought it. I am here. And now we're gonna play the beta. I don't know how many videos I'll make, but I know I'll be streaming probably a little bit while I play the game. And I just can't wait. So apparently first we're making a character. It's supposed to be me. I'm sure this is my slim watch. I guess I'll be slim. Heads. Oh god. Oh, this one. Hairstyle. No, this is kind of my hair. That's good. Accessories. I don't have lessons with my video. I don't want to face. No, I just which is clothing. I always wear a hoodie. I'll do that. Have I just have a little more. Dark blue. Okay, of course, blue, as you can know. So that. Oh, okay, nice. Then I always wear sweatpants. Is this supposed to be jeans? No, it's sweatpants. It's hoodies. No jeans. Black ones. Okay, whatever. Oh, and I can wear a hat. Oh my god, it's so cute. Lion, a rhino, or a freaking wild dog.
Oh.
I'll wear the freaking wild dog. That's so fucking cute. Oh wait, I have brown hair when I wear that. Why? I have blonde hair. Okay, then I'll skip it. I guess I'm done. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. The HQ is where other players will see your avatar and access any suits or blueprints you have shared. Position your avatar anywhere on the globe. You can edit your avatar HQ position later. Click and drag to rotate the globe. I mean, I should be in Sweden where I live. So I guess I'll just be here. I can edit later, yeah. Okay, so what's this, friends? Yeah. I'll just take a second to change the settings a bit because the music is really loud. Alright, I think I'm done. You don't have the sandbox mode in beta, so there's the career where you can do the first scenario apparently. Or there's the franchise. I don't really know the difference. Oh, okay, so sandbox you have no restrictions, but franchise is basically like a real zoo, I guess. Like, yeah. So we're gonna do a career, I thought, for my first video, and see what's that all about. Oh. Stately homeschooling, Goodwin House. Renovated and renamed after its purchase by Bernard Goodwin in the 1980s, Goodwin House has since become one of the most respected zoos in the country. More recently, it has undergone a further renovation to update many of the habitats and facilities, but due to various issues, the work hasn't quite been completed, which is where you come in. Okay, nice. I'm excited. Let's go.
Ah, heyo at Hematu. Yeah, Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prize, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off. Don't worry, though. I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on. But
Oh,
before we
Jesus.
begin the real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals? We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Okay. Pan, zoom, rotate. Nice. Raise camera, lower camera. Alright. So, woohoo. Here's the bears.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too. Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
Okay. Zachary.
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel? See now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animals. You can also get this view of an
Ah,
animal
you
by
see a
simply double-clicking on it.
I see a bear butt.
Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've
Okay, there we
marked
go.
their location for you to find.
Nice. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Okay. You'll have to excuse me in the beginning here as I learn the ropes. Yes. Whatever. Okay. Locate the West African lion habitat. So. Here. Okay. Nice.
Panthera leo leo, or the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome. Which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to our warthog habitat and see what needs doing there.
How cute are they swimming? Okay. Warthog habitat over here. I hope the recording doesn't lag too much. I noticed the game is a bit like low in frames, which is probably partly because I'm recording, but also because I can't do it to full screen. So I apologize if it's not the best quality.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for warthogs, but it's missing a certain something. Well, 2 somethings. The warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Okay. Use the animal trading menu.
There we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Buy from the side menu. Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
She emptied out the market. What did you do to those poor warthogs and the elephants? Huh? I don't trust this woman. Okay. purchase there and purchase you. I love how there's so much information about them. Like, what's this even? I don't know. How old they are, size, fertility, immunity. Yeah, I know this game works a lot with like making it realistic, which means you can't like pair a mother with its child without complications. Like you need a good genetic pool. Which is why in the game, as far as I know, you can buy animals from other players' zoos and like trade them from what I understood. Uh, so that doesn't happen.
When you adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in a trade centre where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Sent to zoo. Sent to zoo.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
Ah, there.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible.
Oh
Of
God.
course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat. But I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health. Right, let's get the warthog's habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy.
He's
You see,
running like
each
crazy.
animal in the zoo has an
She.
overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment.
Oh God. Okay.
Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information. Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare. To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Okay. I can write to this and whatever, but what does that matter? Here's some water. And then... Wait, this... Is this also... Oh. Oh. Oh, no, that was food. Just kidding. Here's some water. There you
Animals
go.
also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Okay. Oh. This is big. There.
Nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see.
Thank you.
Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a pharaoh state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Like I would know where the hippos are. Okay.
Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Alright.
Right, let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Alright. This is not gonna be straight, whatever you're saying.
Good work.
Thank you.
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Okay. Why don't we put that here? Help me. Okay. Whoa.
There we go.
Oh.
Adding in more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat. It's always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them.
There we go.
All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them in here.
So dark in this habitat. Alright. Common ostrich. Oh wait, can I choose?
Let's get 4 of them in here.
I'm gonna get this one because it's apparently good. And then we need a male, I guess, so I'll get this one. Oh wait, am I getting all of them? Okay, I'm getting all of them. Never mind. There we go. Am I placing them as well? Maybe I didn't have to get all of them. Whatever. We're getting all of them. I know what I'm doing. Send here. And send here.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item. It's often best to place things like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Let's put this thing here then. The food. Other food over here. Oh shit. And then we can do the water over here. Hey!
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour? Oh, heaven forbid they ever escape. The speed camera finds alone would bankrupt us.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did he do his speed camera joke? Every time we get an ostrich. So, now we've made the ostriches' lives a bit better, let's do the same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Alright, that's gonna do it for this episode. But watch for the next video because I'm gonna be recording probably the whole scenario in one go and release the videos. So, see you next one. Bye!